Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today we're looking at a question quite a few of you have asked us about. BTC Digital, specifically, is now a good time to buy. We've pulled together some info, looked at different sources to really get a handle on the company, its recent changes and what might be coming up. And hey, before we really get into it, just a quick reminder, if you're finding these discussions useful, definitely hit that subscribe button for us. Like the discussion, leave a comment maybe. Oh, and if there's a company you want us to look into, just, drop it in the comments below. Your input really helps us shape these talks. Okay, so BTC Digital. It's a name that's definitely been buzzing around the digital asset space lately. And from what we can tell, they're not just like tweaking things. Seems like they're going through a pretty big transformation.
Oh, indeed. It's really fascinating.
Wow.
Not just the speed, but the reasoning behind this move. Think about it. A company known mainly for Bitcoin mining that's tied heavily to proof of work, right?
Right, the traditional mining model.
Yeah. And now, this aggressive shift to Ethereum. We're talking staking, DeFi. It's a fundamentally different approach. Different technology, different economic model almost.
So it's not just switching coin, it's switching philosophy.
Exactly. Moving from, brute computational power to capital efficiency and network participation. It's a strategic bet, really, on a different future for digital finance.
Moving away from that sort of industrial mining feel towards something more financial services based.
That's a good way to see it. A significant gamble, perhaps, but maybe transformative if it pays off.
That really does reframe their whole business. So can you walk us through how this Ethereum strategy actually unfolded? When did this shift really start gaining steam?
Well, looking back over the last 3 months, the signs became pretty unmistakable. Back in July 2025, they postponed a shareholder meeting. In retrospect, that was probably to nail down these new plans.
Okay.
And then critically, mid-July, they did a $6 million direct share sale, specifically to institutional investors. And that capital, it was explicitly earmarked for this new Ethereum direction.
Ah, so not just general funds, but targeted money.
Precisely. A very clear signal.
Yeah.
Then, by August 2025, management made it official. They announced a plan, sell Bitcoin assets, use the money to buy Ethereum, and launch ETH staking and yield programs.
Staking and yield, okay.
But more than that, too. They're also going after decentralized finance, DeFi, blockchain financial services without the banks, and real-world assets, RWA, trying to link tangible stuff to the blockchain.
Wow, okay. So definitely moving away from just Bitcoin mining.
Absolutely. It's a fundamental break from relying solely on that.
And it sounds like they moved pretty fast to actually put money behind this, not just talk about it.
They did. The company quickly disclosed they'd built an initial $1 million position in Ethereum.
$1 million straight into ETH.
Yeah, signaling a real move towards what they called production-oriented digital asset operations, so getting things running. And then in September, that shareholder meeting that got pushed back from August, that likely gave the green light for any governance changes or, capital reallocations needed to really push this transformation forward.
Setting the stage for what comes next.
Exactly.
Okay, so this massive pivot is underway. The big question then is, what should investors be watching for now? Like, what are the key milestones or events coming up for BTC Digital? Are there specific dates we should circle on the calendar?
Yeah, there are definitely a few things coming up in the next 3 months or so that could be pretty significant. First off, the Q2 earnings report. That's expected around September 12th.
Okay, very soon then.
Right. And it's critical because it's the first real chance to see hard numbers. How has this Ethereum pivot started impacting revenue, margins, their overall financial structure?
So the first real litmus test for the new strategy. Got it. What else is on the radar?
Another key date is September 30th. That's when the ETF Q3 crypto basket rebalancing happens.
Ah, the index fund shuffle. How does that affect BTC Digital specifically?
Well, if BTC Digital is in any crypto sector ETFs, and its weighting gets adjusted up or down, those ETFs have to buy or sell shares to match. That can create buying or selling pressure, affecting the stock price and how much it trades.
Right, forced buying or selling. Okay. And after September?
Mid-October, around the 14th, we should see preliminary institutional holdings data. If we see big institutions increasing their stake, or maybe new ones coming in.
That could be seen as a vote of confidence in the Ethereum strategy.
Exactly. It could validate what management is doing.
Makes sense. And beyond earnings and market mechanics like rebalancing.
Well, there's also a major crypto holiday, or maybe a block event expected around November 1st. Those kinds of events often spike transaction activity, maybe volatility across crypto stocks, including BTC Digital. Could be interesting.
More market noise, potentially.
Could be. And finally, looking further out, the Q3 earnings announcement, expected around December 5th. That'll give us another big update on how this whole transformation is progressing, building on what we hopefully learned from Q2.
Okay, so a series of potential catalysts and data points coming up. Sounds like a company in motion, but one of our sources paints a, let's say, more cautious picture, highlights some pretty significant red flags. What's going on there?
Yeah, and this is a really important context. While we have all these expected events, our analysis shows a serious lack of current auditable financial information from BTC Digital.
Lack of information. What do you mean?
Well, the latest full-year data we can find on the SEC's EDGOR system, that's the public database for company filings, is from 2024. As of September 5th, 2025, there's no 2025 annual filing. For an international company like them, that would be a 20F form. It's missing.
Wait, no annual report for 2025 yet? That seems late.
It is quite late. All we really have is the recent 6K form, which just mentions that August shareholder meeting. A 6K is usually for specific material events, not the comprehensive financial picture you get from an annual report.
So even with all this talk of strategy shifts and upcoming earnings, the foundational financial data is just not there right now.
That's the crux of it. Without up-to-date, verifiable numbers for 2025 revenue, earnings projections, profit margins, even a recent balance sheet or cash flow statement, it's basically impossible to assess their fundamental growth, their profitability, their overall financial health in any objective way. This lack of transparency, this absence of regular detailed filings is a major caution flag for anyone looking to invest. It makes fundamental analysis incredibly difficult.
That really puts a different spin on things. So if you're trying to evaluate BTC Digital, what does this missing information mean for figuring out their revenue, earnings, or even how they stack up against competitors?
It means we're flying blind on some really critical metrics. How can you objectively gauge their competitive edge or market position without current operational data? You can't, really.
Right.
There's just no solid evidence in recent filings to show they have a sustainable advantage, or even if the new strategy is working financially. We just don't have the numbers to confirm anything substantial. It's like trying to understand a company with half the instruction manual missing.
Okay, and how is this lack of clarity maybe affecting their stock price or how the market sees them? Does it show up there?
It certainly seems to. On September 5th, the stock was trading around $2.46 on Nasdaq Q. And it's been stuck in a pretty narrow range lately, roughly $2.20 to $2.60.
Range bound, yeah.
Exactly. While there's some technical support around $2.20, $2.30, and resistance maybe $2.60, $2.80, the stock just seems stuck. It looks like it lacks clear upward momentum, which could well be the market reflecting this uncertainty.
Makes sense. Uncertainty often leads to sideways movement.
And this lack of comprehensive current data also messes with technical analysis. It's hard to reliably use things like moving averages to spot trends when the fundamental picture is so fuzzy.
Right. So it's a real mixed bag then. Exciting potential from the strategy shift, but serious concerns about the basic financial visibility. Beyond the facts and the lack of facts, are there any, rumors or speculative things floating around that might still move the needle for BTC Digital? Sometimes whispers matter too.
Oh, for sure. There are definitely some interesting what-ifs circulating. One bit of speculation is that BTC Digital might try to partner with new Ethereum-based ETFs.
How would that work?
Well, these ETFs need validator and staking services for the Ethereum they hold. BTC Digital, with its new focus, could potentially step in as a provider. That would be a big deal.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
There's also chatter about them maybe trying for an exchange uplisting moving from Nasdaq Q to, say, the NYSE, if they can get their market cap up and achieve some financial stability after this transition.
A bigger stage, potentially more investor interest.
Could be. And then there are whispers of talks with major DeFi or fintech players about joint ventures, especially around those real-world asset DeFi protocols. That would really expand their new strategy's scope.
Interesting. Any other rumors?
One more kid, the idea they might sell off their old Bitcoin mining gear and infrastructure, potentially using that cash to buy even more Ethereum, really doubling down on the pivot and making a clean break from the past.
Those are some potentially huge moves. But let's bring it back to the risks. How do these transparency issues we talked about connect with the inherent risks of being in the crypto space? Do they make things worse?
They absolutely do. If you look back at their older filings, the risk actors section mentioned the usual suspects for this sector: dependence on crypto prices, regulatory uncertainty, operational risks, standard stuff.
Right. Par for the course in crypto.
But the current lack of financial transparency and the missing regular updates, those are now being flagged as major red flags on top of the standard risks. It basically magnifies everything. Investors can't verify if the company is managing those inherent crypto risks effectively from a financial standpoint.
Because the data isn't there.
Exactly. Plus, you still have the market risks. High correlation to Bitcoin's price swings, general sector volatility, and crucially, there's the looming risk of a Nasdaq U delisting or some kind of compliance review if they don't get their filings in order. That would be very damaging.
So the lack of transparency makes every other risk feel bigger and harder to judge.
Precisely. Opacity is rarely a good sign for investors.
Okay, let's try to bring this all together then. The core question. Is BTC Digital a good time to buy now? Considering everything, the ambitious pivot, the potential catalysts, but also these serious data gaps, what's the overall takeaway from the analysis we've seen?
Well, the consensus from one of the analyses we looked at gives BTC Digital a pretty low overall rating, 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10. Ouch, why so low?
The rationale ties directly back to everything we've discussed. A severe lack of current, auditable financial info for 2025. Low trading liquidity. Very little analyst coverage. Plus, opaque corporate developments and, frankly, weak communication from the company itself.
Okay, so a lot of negatives stacking up there.
Right. So, for you, the listener trying to make sense of this, it means, yes, this strategic pivot to Ethereum is ambitious, maybe even exciting, but the fundamental data you'd normally rely on to assess if that pivot is working or if the company is financially sound, it's just not available right now. And that adds a huge layer of risk on top of an already high-risk sector.
So based on that assessment, what does this imply for different types of investors, say short-term traders versus long-term investors?
For short-term trading, the recommendation is generally no. The stock isn't very liquid, it lacks consistent volatility traders need, and the poor news flow makes quick, informed trades really difficult.
Okay, not ideal for traders. What about long-term investing?
Also deemed not suitable at this point. The reasons are the same fundamental problems. Absence of current financials, irregular reporting, lack of transparency, minimal analyst engagement. Now, this assessment could change, maybe quickly, if those critical disclosures appear. A proper 2025 annual report, maybe Q2 earnings.
If they suddenly become more transparent.
Exactly. If that happens, you'd have to reevaluate immediately.
Hmm.
But until then, the risks seem to significantly outweigh what can be verified.
Wow. What a fascinating and, somewhat concerning look into BTC Digital. It really hammers home how important it is to look at all the information available and maybe even more importantly, to notice what isn't available. Sometimes the silence is the loudest part.
Couldn't agree more. The company is definitely undergoing a major change, and change can be exciting. But ultimately, market reaction and investor confidence can depend heavily on them providing much clearer, timely, and verifiable financial information as they go through this. Without that clarity, even the best strategy remains speculative.
So for you listening, this is maybe a powerful reminder, right? A compelling story like this pivot to Ethereum really needs solid, accessible financial data to back it up if you want the full picture. What stands out most to you about BTC Digital's situation? How do you personally balance that potential of a big strategic shift against a lack of clear financials? Definitely something to think about as you navigate your own investment decisions. Thank you for joining us on Investing Talk Podcast. We look forward to our next discussion.